Sarvaitam Sarabhutam Arijanasikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sarvadam Sri Vishvavasu Prabhu Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabhakta Jagapate Krishna Gopakanta Radha Bhakta Panchana Gopakante Radha Vishwami Vishwanath Sukadeva Manchuraka Bhaktisya Vipasya Ganesha Atika Paramayu Ashraya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Ram Sakitaya. Hare Krishna, the devotees. Translate or? You translate? Okay, thank you very much for your desire to sing holy names and to read and discuss Bhagavad-Gita and take Sri Bhagavad Prasad. Today we will read Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter number 4 and text number 1. We need to chant special prayer before reading. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Some waters, words, or tomorrow. Sanskrit text number 1, chapter number 4, transcendental knowledge. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yugam Praktavamanamahim Vivasvamana Vipra Manurishva Kavimrait. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed me, Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu, in turn, instructed it to Ikshvaku. This is description of Guru Parampara, spreading of transcendental knowledge in our universe. And next verse, Lord Shri Krishna said, Parampara Bhaktam. He said, by this parampara, transcendental knowledge is spreading in our universe. And in this commentary, this purport, Srila Prabhupada explains us in all planets, in our universe, there is this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, internal knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita in all planets, in Sun, in Moon, in Jupiter, in Brahmaloka, in Siddhaloka, in Jnanaloka, in any King Purushaloka. Not Indian knowledge. It is universal knowledge. Wonderful. It's first lesson for today. We are not sect, no. ISKCON, it is representative of knowledge. This knowledge is spreading by Lord Krishna himself in this universe. Who is Lord Krishna? Lord Krishna said in chapter number 10, Lord Krishna said, I am creator of all material and spiritual worlds. And another provement who is Lord Shri Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchitananda Vigra, Anadi Raja Govinda, Sarva Karma Karma. It is verse spoken by Lord Brahma is a root of our Brahma Gandhi Vishnu Sankirtan. Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he manifested in our planet, in the Lokananda, 5,000 years ago. And spoke Bhagavad-Gita one time more. It is the same eternal knowledge. And what is the topic of this eternal knowledge? Difference between spiritual soul, eternal spiritual soul, and temporary body. Position of Supreme Personality of Godhead like the item. and honor of this universe. Jivara Swarupa Krishna said us, every living entity is so eternal servant of Lord Shri Krishna. And what is about the second, third idea of Bhagavad-Gita is material nature. Material nature is not our own world. Aham Brahmasmi, I am part of eternal world. This place, not my home. I can't stay long in one body, in this material world. And the idea is to by practice of bhakti yoga, go back to Godhead. It is main idea. And the idea is not to run as fast as possible to this material world. No. A lot of devotees have a wrong idea about spiritual world. One very famous devotee, he is and was the coordinator of now Bhakti Vriksha in Eurasia continent. And he said in 2000, 20 years ago, he came first time to the lecture of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, very famous spiritual master, disciple of Srila Prabhupada and HG. Unfortunately, he left his body. We have no association, personally, but only throughout lectures and books. And the Bhakti Tirtha Swami came first time in Russian National Festival in Black Sea. And this devotee, he said, I was a little bit proud. I am coordinator of the Eurasian continent. And what is said about Bhakti Tirtha Swami, if you will hear this teacher will change your Krishna consciousness at all. How possible? And he said, he spread his knowledge and said, please spread more and more. And I followed his instruction about his lecture. He sat 1 meter nearby Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And he heard and sang together with him Kirtan, Jarana Matala before lecture and after the Bhakti Tirtha Swami said, first statement, Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. And this devotee said, okay, I know. Second sentence, main process in Kali Yuga is singing of holy name, Hare Krishna mantra. And this person said, okay, I know. That is new. And third sentence is, by this reason, we did not have to run out from this material world, but our goal is build material, spiritual world here in the earth. Wow, opposite direction. Not run out of, but build spiritual here. And he was so inspired, and it was so new idea. He started to think about this, and his hearing is stopped. And he did not hear next hour or 2 hours what was the topics of lecture. He started to think about this. I need to build spiritual world here. Oh, it is absolutely amazing. Wow. And he spreads his knowledge. please spread these ideas. It is very interesting. Our idea, by practice of Bhakti Yoga, we need to build spiritual world in Helsinki. Not come to reality. We are not sect. We have very wide and very deep. Wow. You have to say it? Yes. In your family, in your town, in your temple, in your country, you need to build spiritual world. Yes. It is the idea of Bhagavad-Gita. Krishna said, please offer me all your food and all your activities. By this activity, it will bless you. And follow all regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Krishna said, please put your mind and intelligence to me constantly, please. If you cannot do this, okay, follow regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pranasyamanam Archanam Pranasyamanam Sankyam Atmani Vedanam. Hear about me, chant my holy names, meditate on me, do some service, etc. If you cannot do this, please act in my mission. Book distribution, prasadam distribution, holy name distribution, and festivals and so on. If you cannot do this, please have your own job and do some donation, do something for mission. If you cannot do this, okay, please cultivate knowledge. Lord Shri Krishna said, you are a very foolish person. No, he said, please cultivate, not cultivate knowledge. Very correct. It is steps of Bhakti Yoga. And everybody need to find your own step and practice. And after purification by activity of Bhakti Yoga, you can, me and you can go to next step. After the next, not jump to the side level. Absolutely pure devotional service. No. It is a mistake. And Lord Shri Krishna gave us Bhagavad-Gita one time more. Next time I am giving you this knowledge, dear Arjuna. I spoke to this knowledge, I spread this knowledge to whom? To Vivasvan, and Vivasvan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku, first king in our planet. And 500 years ago, the same Lord Krishna came in Kali Yuga and said, Harinama, Kevalam, Nasya, Gajaranaga. Only by the chanting of the holy name you can purify your heart and mind. It is main yoga, Kali Yuga Dharma. It is process for Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And we are chanting of holy name. The main process of our Bhakti Yoga system in Kali Yuga is chanting of Hare Krishna. And we are chanting here in temple and in any your own flats and houses and outside and hiding out. It is the main process. And we need to spread. This Hare Krishna mantra can destroy all problems in our life and in life of our planet. By chanting of holy name, by reading and following of Prabhupada's books, and by taking prasadam together, we can build spiritual world in our planet. Kirtan, lecture, and prasadam. Holy names, holy books, and holy food. That's our problem. Where is it? And Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Krishna himself, in manifestation of Lord Krishna, in Kali Yuga, he spread pure love for Krishna and chanting holy names, Hare Krishna mantra in all India, subcontinent, 500 years ago. And devotees ask him, now maybe you are going to spread holy names, Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, chanting of holy names in other countries, maybe in Russia, maybe in Germany, maybe in USA, maybe in Brazil. And Lord Chaitanya said, no, I will stay in India. Why? How to spread all over the world the chanting of holy names? Lord Krishna said, or Lord Chaitanya said, it will not now, it will in after some centuries migrate general Senapati Bhakta, moral Senapati Bhakta will spread. Holy names are in all continents. Who was this general of Lord Chaitanya? It was Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. We are the members of International Society of Krishna Consciousness and followers of Srila Prabhupada. We are very lucky. Srila Prabhupada. And we are reading Bhagavad-Gita with prophets of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is absolutely empowered person for spreading this knowledge and giving spiritual taste and spiritual force for Bhakti Yoga for next 10,000 years. He said one time my books for next 10,000 years. Yeah, but Srila Prabhupada is not one of the group. No, it's special, very, very special person. Sometimes even devotee in ISKCON have no clear and deep understanding of significance of Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes. But gradually, step by step, year after year, our understanding of position of Srila Prabhupada started to be correct, more and more correct. Yeah. And there is description of ISKCON movement of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bhagavad Purana. You know? I can give what? Why not? Bhagavad Purana, one of it is was written. Bhagavad Purana was written by Vasudeva 5,000 years ago, and it is a description of future of our planet. 5 years ago. In Bhagavad Purana there is a statement: in Kali Yuga, people will have a lot of problems in Kali Yuga, a lot of problems. Yeah? Coronavirus, terrorism. Yesterday was 11th of September. Big problems, wars, and some a lot of problems. And Bhagavad Purana gave a statement, but inside of this Kali Yuga ocean, the servants of Lord Jagannath with brown dreads will save people. It is description of ISKCON movement. We are servants of Lord Jagannath in any town. We have Radha Yatra festival at least one time a year. Yes, I heard about Helsinki Radha Yatra this year. Yes. Unfortunately, it was the same day like in Tallinn Radha Yatra. I cannot visit because I need to maintain Radha Yatra in time. It's my duty. Sorry, maybe next year. In Riga, in Latvia, yes, in Lithuania, yes, in some sometimes twice in year in Vilnius, very famous festivals, sometimes in September and sometimes in July, no problem. In Berlin, in this year was some Radha Yatra in Germany, yes, a lot of limitation, but in Berlin and Köln, and another thing next week, on Saturday in Hamburg, at least, welcome. Yes, the Radha Yatra, it is our sign. We are servants of Lord. ISKCON is very powerful and very famous society of devotees. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada spread holy names by the he followed the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Lord Chaitanya started to spread Hare Krishna mantra in India 500 years ago, and Srila Prabhupada continued to spread in 20 centuries. In 1605, he came to Boston, after New York, and started to spread. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he started to spread holy books. They translated spiritual scriptures to Indian languages and English language and spread and spread and spread. And Srila Prabhupada is continuing to spread transcendental books. The second. And Srila Prabhupada started to spread prasadam. Of course, Lord Chaitanya spread prasadam. Of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati spread prasadam, but not is like very, it was not in focus of preaching. But Srila Prabhupada said, ISKCON will know for all people, ISKCON will kitchen religion. It is very special focus to prasadam. And Sunday feast. In the beginning was kirtan and prasadam, no lecture. Now we have lecture. Now we have arati, another thing. Sometimes theatre, big festival. But originally, I heard today, following the steps, the foot of Srila Prabhupada, DVD, it is first volume. One person said, I said to Srila Prabhupada, first disciple in the New York Temple, I said to Srila Prabhupada, on Sunday in USA there is tradition to came together and take feast in family, for example. And maybe we organize in our temple the same thing. And Srila Prabhupada said, wow, wonderful, yes. And we started to cook prasadam and spread prasadam. It was very good program. And after that, food for life, food for free distribution in streets, and for some people who desire to take any person can take prasadam. And Srila Prabhupada said, 3-4 kilometers out of the temple, we need to spread prasadam for anywhere, anybody. Nobody has to be hungry if distance for temple 4 kilometers 5. Very interesting. You have to put circle and put some surround territory and come to any flat and any office. Maybe you need food. We can distribute free. This is our mission. We have a temple. ISKCON temple means free prasadam for life, for people. Not only for poor people, maybe for president of field and wine. We cannot give free prasadam, for example, for president in field. Why not? It's life for all people, for all. For poor people, it is very cheap food. For president of Finland, it is wonderful cake. Yes, it's our mission. Holy names, holy books, holy food. And in this commentary, Srila Prabhupada said a very interesting thing. He said that the government of any country need to be religion government, not material, not atheist government. And any king, any leader of any country need to spread Krishna consciousness by 3 ways. By religion, like we have temple, for example, Namahatma programs. Second way is by education. Some seminars, lectures, some courses, a lot of schools, universities for general population, for citizens of the country. Education, not religion, education about reincarnation, about the personality of Godhead, about karma and material nature, education about this, very scientific way. And third is by culture. culture. It's like festivals, like some events in our movement. It is very easy and very powerful type of preaching, maintaining Krishna consciousness. For example, Bhakti Bringa Govinda Maharaj, who is it? He's a teacher of uh, Gopala Krishna Prabhu. No, Gopala Krishna Prabhu. His teacher is Bhakti Bringa Govinda Maharaj. Right now, one time, it was, I forgot, 15 years ago. Bhakti Bringa Govinda Maharaj is traveled in the time in the Middle Asian Muslim countries. And big contradiction, fighting between Muslim countries in these countries with Krishna consciousness, because like India now. And one time, when Maharaj was in the car because of some other devotees, two other devotees, and they traveled in some road, and it is out of the city, and was small village and big number of people, and some hundreds. And Bhakti Brinda Maharaj asked, what is it? And he started to see, oh, maybe it is marriage ceremony. And immediately, Bhakti Brinda Maharaj said, stop the car, we need to go to the ceremony. And devotee said, no, Maharaj, it is very dangerous because hundreds of fanatic Muslims, and we are for. We can protect you. No, we need to go. It is marriage, it is culture, it is not religion. Okay, Maharaj. And they came to the ceremony, and for beginning, some people started to be in frustration. What is it? What happens in India? Indian man, Muslim cultural wedding ceremony. What is it? And Bhakti Govinda Maharaj immediately asked, who is the leader or oldest persons in the ceremony? And people said, yes, some oldest person in that corner. Yes, and Bhakti Govinda Maharaj came to this oldest members of this meeting. It was very old Muslim grandfathers. And he immediately said, my respect of you, leaders of this meeting. And immediately this elders, this grandfather said, oh yes, you looks like a monk. Yes, I'm monk. Oh, wonderful. If monk is coming to marriage ceremony, it is very, very famous. Please say something. Say, give blessing. And immediately Bhakti Govinda Maharaj said, no, may I sing the song? Yes, of course, it's the best. And he started to sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And all started to sing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, hundreds of Muslims started to sing Hare Krishna, and devotees were so blessed. And finally, Maharaj said, I'm in the Hari, I need to go. Sorry, all my blessings to you. And devotees, together with Maharaj, was so surprised how it possible kirtan in Muslim meeting. But Maharaj said it is marriage ceremony. It is culture. It is not religion. It is culture. By culture, we can spread kirtan, lecture, and prasadam in any place. Yes, it is description in this Prabhupada. We need to spread Hare Krishna, Bhakti Yoga by religion way, like in temple or Harinam, by education, some seminars, courses, lectures, and by culture. Radayatra, it is culture. And some festivals, it is culture. Why not? Janmashtami, it is day of Krishna. For example. Okay, very, very famous text. You are very fortunate to be a member of this school. Please be please have enthusiasm in practice of Bhakti Yoga. Please follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Krishna. We have extra 5 minutes. If you have some questions or comments or please, we have some minutes. Is it interesting? Yeah, or understandable or what's up?
You mentioned in the beginning,
Yeah.
we should make these communities.
Communities? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes, I talked about Bhakti Tirtha Swami. The main idea to build spiritual bond in any place, in family, in community, in temple, in country. And how to do this? We need to put Srila Prabhupada in the center of our community, temple, or family. Put Prabhupada in the center. Because he is founder Acharya and he is imbibed with Lord Chaitanya. We need to do 3 main types of Bhakti Yoga process: holy names, holy books, holy food. And we need to, which is instruction of Radha Madhava. We are Vaishnavas, we need to cultivate qualities of Vaishnavas and follow the etiquette of Vaishnava. It is program of our building of spiritual world here. Prabhupada in the center, 3 main process, Kirtan lecture prasadam, and qualities and behavior of Vaishnava. It means spiritual world. Thank you for the question. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai, Radhanatha Swami Maharaj ki jai. Next question. Okay, we have 3 minutes more. I can give you information about one question for Prabhupada and answer Prabhupada. 2 answers. First, Srila Prabhupada was asked by devotees. Disciples asked Prabhupada, you wrote in your books, impossible to be known as devotee of Krishna without big problems. And Prabhupada said, yes, it's true. And the question was, as more we surrender to Krishna, as deep we surrender to Krishna, as more we will have problems. Yes, Prabhupada, or not? It means, if yes, don't need to surrender deeper and deeper. Prabhupada said, no, not like this. The devotee said, oh yes, it is good. Prabhupada said, Lord Krishna is organizing for us test. We are devotee or not. And after finishing this test, we will have no problems at all. It's good news. Please finish your test of Krishna as soon as possible. Not 30 years, 3, 4, 5 years. Don't need to spread this period of time for 50 years. 50 years problem. So maybe 5. Second, one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, you said by practice of Krishna consciousness, you said in your book, by practice of Krishna consciousness, any person is starting to be out of material nature, feelings of material nature. Is it true? Yes. Prabhupada said yes, of course. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 3rd chapter, there is at least one chapter, devotional service in 3 gunas of material nature. It's how to understand this if we out of and we inside one moment. Srila Prabhupada gave an example. If you are out of practice of bhakti, you are materialist, for example. You are is swimmer in ocean. You are inside of the water. In waves, it is gunas, waves. By practice of bhakti yoga, you are put yourself out from water back to the ship, for example. Ferry, ship, boat, out of the water. It means bhakti yoga process. Transcendental knowledge like boat, like ship. But if you're not, but this ship is on the waves of ocean. Some changing of the gunas, some coronavirus, some war, some, I don't know, some problems. You understand it? It means we are inside of Bhakti Yoga process. We are on the boat of the ship. But we have some shaving by waves. Of material nature. But we are, if we are devotee, out of gunas, out of water. This explanation. Thank you very much. You are very lucky. I'm very lucky to be here with you. Yes. And Grand Raj, oh, Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki, Jai, Shiva Prabhupada ki,
Jai. Vishvavasu Prabhu ki.
Jai.